I've been developing Swift for more than a decade, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about how to use loops in Swift so you can go from a noob to a Jedi Master at it. So let's get started. All right, our first loop that we're going to cover is going to be for loops. Now, if you're interested in reading up on the documentation, there's a link right there. It's going to be to the Swift control flow page. And you can read up all about it there. But right now we're going to go into for loops. So for loops is one of the three basic loops that Swift has. And with for loops, they're great for iterating over content that you know the amount of. Like it's a set amount, it's an array, it's a collection of some sort, perhaps a dictionary, a set of numbers, and you want to go over each one of them. For instance, if we had this list of superheroes and we wanted to go through and print out their names. For that, the syntax is you type for and then a variable that is assigned whatever is an element of the array. So like Captain America, Iron Man. So we're just going to say hero in superheroes. And then you add an opening and closing brace here. So there we go. That's it. And then inside the loop, we have access to hero. Hero now has a value. It is a string. It's going to have the name of each one of those superheroes. And we can do whatever we want. We're going to print it. And we're going to print hero. All right. And then if we run our little program here, we can see each one of them showing up. Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, Thor, Hulk. See? And it goes in the order of the array. Just going to go one by one through it. And so if we want to do that, we could also do, let's say we wanted to do something else, like if we wanted to assign them a job. So a assign job, and then we hero, we hero. We could do that. We could do whatever we want inside this loop. And it's going to iterate over every single one of them one by one until you've done all the work you want. Another example would be if we had a dictionary of data. So let's say we had this information. Let hero powers equals this, okay? And so we have Iron Man, he's got repulsors, Captain America, he has shields. So you might be like, how can I use this in a for loop? It's kind of hard because there's not a set index that we can iterate over, but it handles it really well. We just do for, and instead of just the element, you can do the hero power, and then we're going to do that. So here we go. Hero is the key, and power is the value. So when you iterate over a dictionary, you do the key and value, and then it's just going to go over each one of those. Now, the thing to remember is that because it's not an array, there's no set order. So one time it could come through exactly the way we have it stored here. Another time it might do this one, and then Hulk, and then Black Panther, and then Iron Man. You can't guarantee order with a dictionary. And so if we run through this one, we can print the heroes and their powers. And right there, you got Black Panther has claws, Thor has a hammer. And you can see there, you know, it did Black Panther first. And then it did Thor. Where's Thor? Thor is that one. Then it did Doctor Strange. You skipped Hulk until Hulk came last. And so that's just an example of it doesn't care about order. And that's for loops. That's the basic elements of for loops. It's just going to go over every single element in the collection, whether it be numbers or dictionary items or whatever it is. It's going to go over each one of them and do whatever work you have assigned inside the loop. One final thing to note is that you don't actually have to do anything with the items in the array. So for instance, we could say for, and to skip the item, you use the underscore. For in superheroes. And then I could say print, and I want to say I'm a hero. So this is not going to use that variable. We're just saying, hey, throw that away, but I want to do something for every item in that array. And that can be useful if you have, say, not necessarily superheroes, but like a set of numbers for 1 through 5. And we want to iterate over that 5 times and maybe create 5 timers or something like that. It's just something to be aware of. I hope you're finding this useful. If you are, please take a second to like and subscribe. And now let's get on to the next item, while loops. All right. While loops are completely different from for loops. For loops, they iterate over a set of data and just do something with every single piece that comes through. While loops, they're looking at a condition. They're looking to say, hey, while something is true, then we want to execute code that is inside the braces. So, for instance, you could write something like this: while true, print hi. Now, if you did this, this will always execute. Your program will hang because it's just going to sit there and print hi, 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 and it's never going to stop. So generally, you want to execute something that has a condition that's going to change over time, or something you're looking for. So if we put in a count, we can say while count is less than 5, we're going to print hi, and we're going to add count in there just so we see. And then we're going to index count by 1. We're going to say it's going to go up. So if we go through this, we're going to get hi 0, hi 1, hi 2, hi 3, all the way to 4. No, it doesn't do 5 because it has to be less than 5. So as it comes through here, it checks the condition first, then it executes the code, and then it's going to pop back up and it's going to check the condition again. So the first time it's 0, then it prints this, and it's going to do that all those times. And then once it gets to 5, it's going to come back up and it's going to check the condition. It's going to say, hey, 5 is not less than 5, it's actually equal to 5. So we're not going to do that. And it skips and breaks out of that loop and continues on with the program. Now, what would happen, you might ask, if we try to execute this with a false condition first? So let's say we said count is equal to 7. All right. So if its count is not equal to 5, so what do you think is going to happen? It's not going to do anything. So we're going to hit print, and we got nothing down here. Very sad. But what if you really wanted something to happen? You really wanted to print out hi no matter what, at least one time. Well, there is another loop that we can use, and that is called a repeat while loop. And so we do repeat, and then we put in our brackets, and we can put in whatever code we want to execute. And while we add our condition, so we're going to say count is less than 5. So count is always going to be false here because we've started at 7. But with the repeat while, it guarantees that it's going to execute this at least one time. In other languages, this might be called a do while loop. So if we run this program, we're going to print 7. Now it's only going to do the one time, but if I increase this to, let's say, 10, we can see that it'll iterate a few times through there until it's false. So 7, 8, 9, then it's going to hit this, be 10, and kick out. All right, those are Swift's loops. You got your for loop, you got your while loop, and you got your repeat loop. What are you going to do with them? Now that you're a master, how are you going to wield those powers? Use them carefully, use them for good.